Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Montgomery County Commissioner Joe Gale. I'd like to begin my remarks today by thanking all the residents of Montgomery County for their cooperation as we combat this pandemic. And we have data and statistics that prove there's been a great amount of cooperation with the residents of Montgomery County. One of them being the level of communication. The hotline, the email address, and the phone number for the COVID-19 hotline has been utilized by the residents of Montgomery County, and they're referring to those forms of communication instead of emergency 911. And we have a graphic here on this screen where it shows the amount of police incident calls from February 1st of this year to yesterday, which was March 23rd. And as you see, we have approximately 2,000, actually over 2,000 police-related incident calls a day here in Montgomery County. Last week, I gave a special thank you and shout out to the telecommunicators that work 365 days a year, 24/7, fielding these emergency calls. And if you put yourself in their shoes, the calls they're dealing with are not pleasant. There's a lot of times chaos on the other line and obviously an emergency on the other line. So they're working very hard year-round, fielding over 2,000 calls approximately a day. So our first case of COVID-19 in Montgomery County was March 7th. The highest number of police-related incident calls was March 9th, 2 days later, when this was actually kicking in and people were stressed over it. We received the most 911-related calls at approximately 2,300 calls. This number of phone calls has drastically declined since. Yesterday was one of our lowest points of emergency phone calls at approximately 1,200 calls. So that's about 1,000 in a decrease of the amount of 911 emergency calls that our telecommunicators are fielding. So that's a credit to the residents of Montgomery County that are utilizing the hotline and realizing that the telecommunicators are here for emergency only, not for testing cases or anything similar to that. I'd also like to share with you what we're doing to help the taxpayers of Montgomery County, as well as the workforce here in Montgomery County and businesses. Last week, President Trump and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin announced that the deadline for filing federal taxes will move from April 15th to July 15th. Since then, I've been asked by many residents what the status is on the state personal income tax returns. The deadline for taxpayers to file their 2019 Pennsylvania personal income tax returns is also extended to July 15th, 2020. This means that taxpayers will have an additional 90 days to file from the original deadline of April 15th. Last week, I announced my efforts to help families and taxpayers adversely impacted by the coronavirus by working to extend the property tax filing deadlines in Montgomery County. This is an ongoing effort, and communication with the 62 municipalities and tax collectors across the county is underway. Given the potential negative financial impact on families are facing because of this pandemic, and also the legal requirement that tax collectors offer in-person office hours prior to certain deadlines related to the tax payments, we are asking our municipal partners to consider an extension of the discount period for payment of real estate taxes. We have received commitments from the largest financial institutions that they will deposit escrowed funds as they normally would and will not change the payment date. So we thank you for the cooperation of our financial institutions that cooperate through the escrow payments. The county recognizes that this decision must ultimately be made by our municipal partners, and we respectfully recommend an extension of at least 4 weeks, with our preferred option being that all municipalities jointly extend through May 31st, 2020. As this crisis is likely to persist for some time, we believe municipalities should also begin consideration of an extension of the face value period as well, and the face value is the full property tax amount. While we acknowledge this will put additional strain on budgets that are no doubt feeling the stress of the current emergency, We feel that this extension is in the best interest of all our residents. In addition to property tax extension, later this week we will announce resources available to assist the business community during this difficult time. Our Montgomery County Commerce Department will be providing information on resources available through the Small Business Administration. Small businesses that have lost revenue as a result of the coronavirus can apply for low interest rate loans through the Small Business Administration Loan Program. These loans can be used to pay payroll, fixed debts, accounts payable, and other bills. So we will have more to update you regarding that. And please continue to visit our county's COVID-19 data hub for updates, and we will be releasing more specifics later this week. Thank you very much.